All right, I wanted to share this video today. I'm sharing a video of a lady sharing a video. I think I'm gonna start doing this. Give my commentary on top of another commentary. But this video discusses why Asian businesses are set up in Black communities, and you've heard me kind of talk about this a little bit in the past, with my frustration really being not that they start in businesses in our communities, but that many of them treat us with a lack of respect and a disregard for a disregard in general. And we continue to patronize these businesses. Yet, if a Black-owned business does the same, all of a sudden we're not supporting any Black businesses. This is the reason. This is why I don't support Black businesses, but we don't keep the same energy with these other groups that come in and do business and treat us far worse, in my opinion. Right? But I wanted to go ahead and share kind of the history somewhat. I think this is somewhat opinionated as well, but the man breaks it down. The history of how these other groups got into the Black community and why they are still there. All right, so let's tap into that. Y'all let me know what y'all think. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Watch this Asian gentleman explain why Asians have set up shop in the Black community. Check it out.
Why do Asians own so many liquor stores and nail shops in the hood? In April 1975, U.S. forces withdrew from Saigon, surrendering the Vietnam War and leaving their Asian allies to face punishment under the new regime. President Ford knew abandoning allies to death or jail would ruin America's global reputation. He asked civic leaders to help receive refugees, 130,000 in the first wave and over 1.4 million by the 90s. A Refugee Assistance Act provided $400 million for resettlement costs, and many Christian and Jewish families became sponsors, supporting these new Americans. But conservative politicians argued that Asians were incapable of contributing to American society. Rumors were spread about these new neighbors. They practiced witchcraft, lived in filth, and would eat household pets. So many Vietnamese, Hmong, and Lao found themselves in a country where their degrees, job training, and connections from home were devalued and ignored. The same was happening to the 560,000 Koreans escaping U.S.-backed South Korean military dictatorships and Chinese fleeing the Cultural Revolution. Asian immigrants faced language barriers and racial suspicion in high-demand fields like corporate business, engineering, law, and academia. So they found industries with lower barriers to entry: liquor stores, bodegas, nail shops. Pooling their limited resources, families would open and operate small storefronts wherever they could. That usually meant being priced or gate-kept out of white neighborhoods and being forced to set up shop in lower rent, lower income areas, the hood.
So as you saw there, he gave a very educational reason as to why Asians have a stronghold in the Black community, right? And they have been there ever since. They're there now, selling everything you can think of: hair weave, nails, alcohol, cigarettes, lotto, anything you can think of. I would say the degradation of the Black community, they're selling it, right? So, okay, I get it. You guys were discriminated against and y'all were kept out of other industries, so y'all came to the Black neighborhood. But let me ask you this. Why is it that y'all come to the Black neighborhood and treat Black people wrong? You said y'all was treated bad, but then y'all come and do the same thing to Black people. But see, you know what? I'm not mad at Asians for doing that, because that's what they want to do, whatever. But you know who I'm really mad at? I'm mad at us. I'm mad at us that we know they do that, and we still walk ourselves into their stores and buy liquor, cigarettes, and get a hair done and a nails done. I'm mad that we continually do that, and we hear stories almost every day of how they are brutal to Black people. And listen, at the Latasha Harlins, we always should be suspicious of what are they doing in our neighborhoods. Y'all know Latasha Harlins, the 15-year-old that was killed by that of Soon Do there in Los Angeles over a bottle of orange juice that was like $1.47 or something like that. That's the kind of stuff they do, and we still hear about that to this day, how they have no problem taking the lives of Black people who they deem to be stealing or whatever the case is, right? They think a bottle of orange juice, and Latasha wasn't stealing. I just want to say that when they found her body, she had that money in her hand that she intended to pay for that orange juice. I just want to put that out there. Yeah, that Asian lady got away with it, but I digress. We hear about it all the time, how they think, oh, they stealing some Twinkies, I'm gonna take their life. Or, having an issue with the sisters in the shops, and they want to take broomsticks and all kind of stuff and beat them up. But yeah, we still go up in there. We want to, build our own up in there. And I know a lot of that, they're getting help from the cities and the governments to do that. And those cities and governments are helping them do that. And what cities and governments that usually is under? The Democrats. The Democrats allow them to do that. They don't have nothing to say about that at all. They allow them to do it to black people. But black people, at one point in time, we're going to have to wake up and say, nah, no more. We ain't doing it. You're not going to eat off of us no more. Go to your own communities and do that. Sell all the stuff that you sell in our communities. Because I guarantee you, where the Asians live, they don't got liquor stores on every corner. They ain't got these nail shops pumping all that poison out of there. They ain't got all that going on in their neighborhood. They ain't got no hair, beauty supplies and all that. They ain't got none of that. They got the Whole Foods and all that other stuff in their communities, but they come and sell you the half foods. So I hear what he's saying, but I want to know why his people are so cantankerous to black people. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel.
That last statement was an interesting concept, and even all other ethnic groups coming into the black communities. You go to these predominantly, like she said, predominantly Asian or predominantly Indian neighborhoods, and yeah, you don't see that. I honestly never flipped it like that. So that's kind of a new that's a thing. I never flipped it. I never looked at it like that. Like, yeah, when I go into out here, a big Asian community in California is out in Alhambra, and I've been there a few times, and well, I've been there a lot. I mean, it's not far. They they got movie theaters. I can't say that I've been there looking for liquor stores or nail shops, right? But I know when I go to those communities, what sticks out, and movie theaters, Asian restaurants, Asian cuisine, and all sorts of other all sorts of businesses. Next time I go, I am going to specifically open my eyes a little bit and see if I see, liquor stores on every corner and all these other businesses that we see in our black neighborhoods. Now, I will say, you do go to black neighborhoods such as Inglewood here in California, you will see a lot of black businesses, normal, black businesses that we could be proud of, right? Like, same thing, restaurants and auto mechanic shops and things like that, right? But in between those things, there are a lot of liquor stores, beauty supply stores, nail shops that are not owned by African Americans. I will say, I do see quite a bit in Los Angeles, period, that are owned by black folks now. Which in a video I did not too long ago, I there were comments made on the video that I was sharing that, again, someone was saying, oh, I had a bad experience at a black nail shop, and so I never, I'll never go back to a black-owned nail shop again. And it's like, but again, that goes back to my comment what I was saying before. How many times have you had a bad experience at a nail shop owned by another group? I'm gonna continue to say it over and over and over on this channel. Just keep that same energy, okay? My goal here is not to convince people who genuinely don't want to support black-owned businesses to support black-owned businesses. I'm not here to do that. right? But I will call it out as if you don't want to support a black owned business simply because you don't feel like you get the treatment that you deserve, that is perfectly fine. Just keep the same energy across all businesses. Keep the same energy across all businesses. When you walk into that neighborhood restaurant that's not black owned, and they treat you just like many of us have been treated walking into some of these other businesses, especially in some of these other areas that are not used to seeing black folks, right? Keep that same energy. Get up and walk out. Right? Eat, don't leave a tip, and get up out of there and never go back. Right? Don't post that business on social media, even if it's just a cute picture of their food. Like, don't give them the marketing. Or if you do post them, post and talk about how terrible customer service, what the terrible customer service you received. Right? Just make sure y'all keep that same energy. Because I promise y'all, that's what I've always done. That I've done that since I can remember. Right? In most cases, I mean, there are certain cases that it sucks because that the business that I'm dealing with is the only one in town. Very rare situations, but there are situations like that, right? That we've all run into. But in most cases, 99% of the cases that I've dealt with where I had a bad experience, I vowed to never go back to that place again. There's Home Depot is a good example. I used to work at Home Depot. I had a terrible experience with them and how they treated me as an employee. And the day that I stopped working from them or for them, and this was years ago, clearly, I never spent $1 in Home Depot since. Years ago. Right? And that's a big chain store, very, very hard to replace in most cases. Probably won't be able to keep that same energy forever, but it's been, hey, they lost a customer for sure. Right? I go to Lowe's now. To this day, even now, I drive by probably 2 Home Depots. Yeah, I do actually. Now that I think about it, there's 2 Home Depots within 5 minutes from me, and I spend the extra 10 minutes and drive 15 minutes to the nearest Lowe's because it's not even in my brain to go to a Home Depot. I don't even think about it. It could be another one near me. Won't do it. Won't do it. And the I think one of the more recent ones is Venetian out in Las Vegas. Terrible experience at Venetian from their customer service. That was 2 years ago. You'll never see me book a room at a Venetian ever again in my life, and I can say that with more confidence because there's so many hotels in Las Vegas, especially luxury hotels, that I don't ever. Venetian is not like, it's not even it's in a good location, but there's so many more luxury hotels in better locations with better rooms, in my opinion, that I don't ever see myself staying at the Venetian ever again. Terrible experience. All right, these are big box brands that I keep the same energy with, and I do this, and I very well do the same with smaller, mom and pop shops, smaller companies, whatever. I do the same. I'll keep the same energy, and I keep the same energy with black owned businesses as well. I don't need to spend my money here. I can go somewhere else. Right? So there's that. But yeah, this was dope. Another insightful video in my opinion. So y'all let me know what y'all think though. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.